Johnston here.
Rello here.
Lorick here. Kavich here.
Guzikowski here.
Seipert here.
Chandler here.
Would everybody please look at the October 23rd minutes? There are no omissions, errors, corrections. Whenever somebody's ready, we can entertain a motion.
Seipert moves to approve the minutes of October 23rd, 2018.
Chandler seconds.
Roll call.
Hannah, aye.
Johnston, aye.
Rello, aye.
Lorick, aye. Kavich, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Seipert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Item 4 is significant common council actions. When you're ready, Carrie.
Council approved the following at their November 5th meeting: an ordinance rezoning a portion of the property at 3280 East Oakwood Road from A1 agricultural to RS3 single-family residential. A resolution approving a certified survey map for Laverne Bowers for the same property at 3280 East Oakwood Road. An ordinance rezoning the properties at 9840 and 9872 South 27th Street from M1 PUD Manufacturing Plan Unit Development and OO Mixed Use Office Overlay District to M1 PUD Manufacturing Plan Unit Development. An ordinance rezoning the properties at 2600 West South Branch Boulevard and 9810 South 27th Street from M1 PUD Manufacturing Plan Unit Development and OO Mixed Use Office Overlay District to M1 PUD Manufacturing Plan Unit Development. A resolution approving a certified survey map for Hume On MVAH Partners for the properties at 7266 and 7328 South Howell Avenue, and a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a finance development agreement by and between the City of Oak Creek and Lakeshore Veterinary Real Estate Oak Creek LLC. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Carrie. Item 5A is a public hearing for a sign appeal at 10861 South Howell Avenue, and we have Pete here to read it into record and give us the lowdown on it.
All right, sounds good. City of Oak Creek, notice of public hearing before the Plan Commission. Public hearing for a sign appeal will be held Tuesday, November 13th, 2018 at 6 p.m. here at Oak Creek City Hall Common Council Chambers, 8040 South 6th Street, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, 53154. The appellant is Arena Americas. Tax key number 955-1001-000. The property is located at 10861 South Howell Avenue. Applicants requesting a variance from section 17.0706 sub A, which states that the area of a wall sign shall be no more than 100 square feet for buildings less than 300 feet from the right of way. If granted, this variance would allow the applicant to install one wall sign that is 200 square feet in area on the east elevation of the building located at 10861 South Howell Avenue. Zoning of the property is M1 PUD, Manufacturing District, Plan Unit Development. All interested persons wishing to be heard are invited to be present, dated this 24th day of October, 2018. Plan Commission, City of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, signed Mayor Daniel J. Pukowicz, Chairman. This is a public hearing. If anyone wishes to make a comment regarding the subject of this hearing, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and proceed to address the commission with your comments.
Thank you, Pete. Before we open the public hearing, Carrie, item 6C.
For those present for item 6C, which is the rezone and conditional use permit for MVAH Partners, that application has been withdrawn as of 1 p.m. this afternoon. We will notify you if there are any developments regarding this, including rescheduling, or if there is another application.
Thank you. I wanted to make that announcement in case there's anybody out there that's here for that item. Thank you. As Pete said, it is a public hearing on item 5A. We will make 3 calls. This will be the first call. Second call. Oh, sure, yes.
Carol Burns, 510 East Robert Road, right. Just a real quick question. If we do make this exception for this business, will that set a precedence for other businesses? Or, will it be a problem with ones that may have come before and asked and they didn't get to do this?
No, signs are taken one sign at a time, I guess. That's about the only way I can say it.
Is that what it's going to look like? Is that the sign in question?
That is a sign, yes.
So it's just the name on the side of the building?
It's just the name, and it faces east. It faces Howell Avenue.
If you'd like a little explanation, with it,
Let me make the third final call.
sounds good.
Third and final call, please.
So I represent Innovative Signs. We're actually
Name and
manufacturing.
address, please.
Justin Silva, 180 Tree Line, Antioch, Illinois. So we're 13 feet away from allowing 200 square foot sign from the lot line. I did come up with a rendering for a 100 square foot sign, if you'd like to see it.
Sure.
It's rather small. The visibility on the lettering Americas would only be clear at about 150 feet, which is about the center of the parking lot.
Is that it for your comments?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was the third and final call. We'll now close the public hearing. Pete, if you'd like to give us a synopsis, then we'll open it up to the commission. Thank you, sir.
Yes. I just wanted to make a correction in my report. In my report, I talked about the building being approximately 287 feet from the right-of-way. On the site plan, it's really hard to tell on your little addition. It's actually 270 square feet. So it's 30 feet shy of that rule of being 300 feet from a public right-of-way. The sign is 200 square feet, is channel lettered. It does meet all of the other design standards for wall signs for the manufacturing district. So tonight, the Plan Commission is taking a look at whether or not a 200 square foot wall sign, even though it's not meeting that 300 foot threshold, meets the Plan Commission, the sign appeal criteria, and be granted a variance to allow it to go to that 200 square foot size sign.
Thank you, Pete. We'll open it up for questions from the commission. Greg?
First, just a comment. I mean, the 200 square foot rendering to me looks much more appropriate for the size of the building. A question about the sign design. When you calculate the square footage on this, is it correct that you're drawing a rectangle around the entire thing?
Yes.
So that large empty portion above Americas is included in the square footage, even though there's nothing there?
I would defer to the appellant.
Okay. So again, I have no issues with this size sign.
Okay. Fred?
I don't see any problem with it. You can't really see that 100-foot sign from a distance, and I think this would be adequate.
Chauncey?
I do have a question for the applicant. So with the 200, well, let me go back. With the 100-foot sign, you said you can see it how far away?
Well, the specific lettering that says Americas, for a clear visibility, due to that size, it would be about 150 feet. So you'd still be in the parking lot to have clear visibility. Now, stretching out to Howell Avenue, traffic going 45 miles an hour, not really legible.
So for the
most
200
passerbys.
square foot sign, how far can you actually read that one?
I've got it. So Americas would then be visible at 180 feet, and then the maximum readable distance would be 750 feet. Now the main letter set, Arena, the larger, at 39 inches. Well, they actually don't have that on this chart, so I bumped it up to 42 inches. The distance would be 1,750 feet for maximum readable distance. And then within the readable distance for maximum impact, that's 420 feet.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Christina, Brian? Nothing? Dawn? No? Okay. I guess I'll put my 2 cents in. I'm okay granting the variance. Ms. Burns asked the question, would this set a precedent? No, it doesn't. We take each sign as it kind of comes up based on its unique situation, characteristics. We have granted variances in the city to other signs. And again, it had to do with similar footage and things like that. And I would challenge anybody to tell us which sign it is because you really can't tell. So I am in favor of the 200-foot sign. So if there's nothing else, motion, please.
Clerk will move to approve a variance allowing the applicant to install one 200-square-foot wall sign for an industrial building located at 8645 South Howell Avenue.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call.
Anna, I.
Johnston, aye.
Grillo, I.
Lorick, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
All right. And that was item 6A. Item 6B, conditional use amendment. It is submitted by Camp Bow Wow for an amendment to parking setbacks. So, Carrie, I'm sorry.
This is a request for the parking setback. You'll recall that in the site plan review for Camp Bow Wow, they had a little bit of a change to their proposed parking lot. And what they had was not in compliance with what the conditional use permit in effect has. When the conditional use permit was first granted to Puppy Playground back in 2006, the code stated that the minimum setback to a right-of-way for parking was 40 feet. In 2015, that code was amended to allow a 30-foot setback. So that's what the request is for. It's to be compliant with current code. There is a suggested motion that the Plan Commission recommends that the Common Council approve a conditional use permit amendment for the property at 8411 South Liberty Lane after a public hearing. Again, this is the only change requested.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. Applicants want to state anything or wait if there's a question? Okay. We'll open it up to the commissions. Anything, Fred?
No, I don't see any problem. I think it's all right.
Okay, Chris? Jossie, you're okay? Brian, Christina, Dawn, Greg? All right, we look pretty good. We're on a record pace here. Well, not quite, but we're getting there. Anyways, with that being said, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Seifert moves that the Planning Commission recommends that the Common Council approve a conditional use permit amendment for the property at 8411 South Liberty Lane after a public hearing.
Chandler, second.
Roll call.
Anna, I.
Johnston, aye.
Grillo, I.
Lorick, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
As stated previously by Carrie, our planner, item 6C is being held, which gets us to 6D, and that's an official map amendment for the properties at 125 South Shepherd Avenue. Carrie?
So there is a proposal that the staff is bringing forth for Plan Commission and ultimately Council consideration to eliminate one or both of the officially mapped street patterns that are affecting the property at 10025 South Shepherd Avenue. This is a property that is owned by the city. Currently, the official map shows a north-south connection between East Robert Road down to East Oak Lane, and also a connector between East Oak Lane to South Shepherd Avenue on the east side of the property. There are two options. One, which is on the screen right now, is showing the elimination of that north-south connector in red. This only affects the city's property, and dedicated right-of-way is affected by the proposed amendment. So it wouldn't actually affect anything along Shepherd Avenue proper. It would just be this north-south connector. The city has no intention of developing the remainder of the property, as was previously stated, with reviews affecting this property. The connection of East Oak Street to South Shepherd Avenue would not negatively impact the existing stormwater infrastructure on the property. Maintaining a future connection between East Oak Street and South Shepherd Avenue, if constructed, would allow another potential access point for the subdivision as an alternative to Howell Avenue. It also provides an alternative access for fire department response. It also maintains the connectivity intention in the official map for the area. However, there is also an option 2, which would eliminate both of the official street pattern roads that are on this map. No future roads are needed at this time, therefore, that's why this is being proposed. And we have the opportunity as the city, as landowner, to grant access in the future should that east-west connector between Oak Street and Shepherd Avenue be required. So there is a suggested motion in the report. However, it would be up to the Plan Commission to determine which alternative you would like to approve and recommend for council approval.
Right. Thank you, Carrie. We'll open it up for questions. Chauncey?
Okay, can you provide a little more information on why the elimination of the streets?
I'm sorry, I don't think your question is getting picked up on the microphone.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I just have a question on why the elimination of either the one or the 2 streets.
There's no intention for the city to develop the remainder of the property. Therefore, the official street pattern is showing roads that are not necessary. So the proposal is to get rid of them as they probably would not be constructed.
Thank you.
I do actually have a
Christina?
question. Do you think that would impact if the city decides at a later time to sell this property that may decrease of the value?
There's stormwater infrastructure that's on the property, so if at any time the city would want to portion off any part of this, they would have to at least retain the stormwater infrastructure. However, there's also an agreement in place that was made many, many years ago with regard to this property, as was discussed whenever the CSM to divide those 4 parcels a couple months ago was stated. So city has no intention of developing, parceling off, or doing anything else with this property.
Okay, so it's going to stay within the city property and not going to be
Correct.
sold. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Brian, anything?
I just lean towards getting rid of the north-south road and keeping the connectivity option available for a future map street pattern.
Dawn, anything? Greg?
If both are eliminated on the official map, does that eliminate any chance to ever put
No.
that?
What it does not say that we have a future street pattern that would be constructed should development happen. Since development is not going to happen, we are not proposing any roads through there. Now, there is, again, some benefit to maintaining that east-west connection. However, since the city owns the property, if that were to be eliminated from the official map, that doesn't actually it doesn't take away the opportunity to provide a right-of-way or an easement through there at a later date.
Chris?
I'm in favor. I agree with Commissioner Johnson. If we're going to eliminate the north-south, east-west, but keep Oak.
Okay. Brad?
No, I think it's fine. We're not going to use them, no sense in keeping them on the map.
Okay. Just to give you a little back history, once I tell you this is all going to click to you. So that property there is actually just a field, and it had natural growth in it. It was actually planted by the city. There were officially mapped streets on here that didn't happen. It was helping solve stormwater management. It was helping ease it. And there are problems with stormwater management to the west. Okay. What happened was, if you look at that last house along Shepherd, 4 lots got sold off to the school district, and currently Knights Construction is building a home there. It's the only thing we ever proposed because that had the most minimal impact to this area. But again, we wanted to keep our word with the neighbors, so we said we'd eliminate the roads in there to really make sure they were at ease, that we weren't going to build in there. So that's why the north-south road is really looking to be eliminated. But the land itself and it goes back a few mayors back, was never really slated quite for development. Although the roads were in there. Why it never happened, I'm not sure. So,
I just think it satisfies the neighborhood.
yeah.
We're concerned about that development taking place.
Right. And really, just to put you at ease, we have no intentions of going through to Oak. It wouldn't make sense to eliminate it because we could put it right back anyways. It'd be another step. But again, Carol, I mean, you were very instrumental in helping us understand the concerns that went on with this property. So thank you for that. But again, I think it's appropriate to get rid of that. And again, the last thing we want to do is impact anybody. We want to try to improve it. So.
Mr. Mayor? Perhaps I can add a little bit. There is a preference for city staff for the alternative that is on the screen now, which is the elimination of both of
Would like both?
the official street pattern. And the reason being, while it is true that if in the future we do need to have that east-west connection, we can put it in, there is no need for it right now. So keeping it on the official map, while it doesn't necessarily hold the city to construct that in the future, eliminating it doesn't actually have a negative impact. So we would prefer if the alternative on the screen right now showing the elimination of both is recommended for council approval. But again, it's up to the Plan Commission to determine which you would like to recommend for council approval.
Well, thank you. I'm inclined then to agree with my staff. So.
And if anybody has any question about fire department access, I did speak with Assistant Chief Kresick this afternoon. And while they do say that having that east-west connection would be beneficial for emergency response, it's not necessary. And eliminating the official map doesn't really affect their response patterns at this time.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. That's
A lot cleaner.
very good. Brian?
I just want to point out too, though, we've had these issues in the past where we don't have officially mapped street patterns, subdivision south off Oakwood, where it's never going to develop over there. Now, I don't foresee anything developing here, but it keeps that placeholder there, that there is an intent for that road to connect at some future point. Who knows if it ever does, though.
Gotcha. I think we can live with it either way. It is another step if it ever did have to go in for whatever particular reason. But again, I'm flexible.
Oh, how are we going to?
Well, I'm sorry. We have a question. Come on up, Carol or Karen. Carol.
Carol Burns, 510 East Robert Road. First off, thank you, because this really does restore our faith that you followed through on the promise. Chris, you used to live on Robert Road. I remembered that after our last meeting, so thank you very much. My friend, I'm sorry. My brain went, I've known him for years. So Tom actually lives in the cul-de-sac there, and he and I are both sitting there going, yeah, option 2. And I understand, Brian, what you're saying, and I really do get all of this. But if you've lived in Robert Road, or if you've ever driven in there, that really isn't a direct exit. It doesn't go straight out. You still wind all the way through. Either way, you're going to wind. And I can just tell you, this is just my own personal standpoint. The other thing, at some point, I'd like you guys to put on your docket to put speed bumps on Fitzsimmons, because when you put that through, nobody stops at that stoplight. I'm the crazy lady that sits on the corner and yells at cars all day long because they just fly through there. I just worry that would be the same kind of thing.
I agree with you. We've tried.
I know.
We have problems with streets with speed control apparatus such as that, but we get you.
I know, but anyway, if we, the citizens, have any say in this, we would prefer option 2. Thank you.
Okay. We've heard from the public. We've heard from our staff. So if somebody'd like to make that motion.
Lorick moves that the Plan Commission recommend to the
Can
common.
I interrupt for just a second?
Yeah, sure, Carrie.
Because the suggested motion was written at a time when we had only option 1, we need to specify which option you are actually presenting for recommendation.
I think so. Lorick will move that the Plan Commission recommend to the Common Council that the official map for a portion of the southwest quarter of Section 28 mapped unimproved future right-of-way affecting the property at 10025 South Shepherd Avenue be amended as offered in option number 2, eliminating both roads after a public hearing.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call.
Anna, I.
Johnston, no.
Grillo, I.
Lorik, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
Great. Okay, we are at adjournment then.
Grillo moves to adjourn at 6:27.
Lorik will second.
Roll call.
Anna, I.
Johnston, aye.
Grillo, I.
Lorik, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
Great. Want to thank you all for coming out. Please enjoy the brisk weather as best you can. It will get warmer sooner or later. So, again, we don't have much going on this weekend, so I got nothing to really announce because we're a little ways away from Thanksgiving. But on behalf of myself, I won't see you guys before Thanksgiving. So, everybody here have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay? Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in.